Greetings, Groaners! Your episode 117 this week sees me turning 42 in a few days. I swear, some days I feel more like 60. But knowing my luck, they'll push the retirement age of work to 90. I bet they do. We have a bumper crop of facts for you that fall on the week of my birthday as well. You'll be able to tell Admin Nicole, once again, has been hard at work. Your games this week are Yes or BS, the 5-point countdown, and Admin Nicole's Anagram anxiety. The audience groan this week is nothing to do with my birthday, but has rolled in from Peter F of Ashington. Before we even think of moving the show along, we'll go straight in with Admin Nicole's birthday week fact number 1. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. On the 4th of April 1968, at the age of 39, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. He had travelled there to lead a march in support of striking sanitation workers. Dr. King received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. He became known as the youngest person to ever be given this honour. The legislation to recognise Martin Luther King Jr. Day was first introduced just 4 days after his assassination. It would take another 15 years of persistence by civil rights activists for the holiday to be approved by the federal government, and an additional 17 years for it to be recognised in all 50 states. Martin Luther King Day falls on Monday, the 20th of January 2025. Before I get to groan, let us play the 5-point countdown, and there'll be more facts coming later as well. Starting at 5 points, all clues are related. They don't all add together to make more than 5 points. If you get it wrong on one guess and get it right in the next clue, you'll figure it out along the way, Groaners. It's a tricky game. So if you guess right to clue 5, but you get it wrong clue 4, you don't get 5 points. You've got to get the right answer again further down by guessing. And if you change your mind and guess wrong again, then your points reset. You could have 5 points, 4, 3, 2, or 1. That's how the game goes. I swear, one day, I'm going to explain this game correctly. I'm old, so bear with us. Clue 5, for 5 points. I can have many different coatings and am edible. Clue 5, for 5 points. I can have many different coatings and am edible. Go Groaners Live. Give me your guesses, please. Those at home, you know what to do. Someone's wrote M&M's. That's a good guess. It's a very, very good guess. Any further guesses? People are thinking alongside the chocolate here. Someone's put munchies. I think they've only got a chocolate coating, although they've got different fillings. Any more Groaners? I think yet again I've stumped them. Okay, moving on. Clue 4 for 4 points. Some say I am safe for vegetarians and others don't. Clue 4 for 4 points. Some say I am safe for vegetarians and others don't. If you're a vegetarian, this may or may not help you. If you're not a vegetarian, that will probably not help you either. I have stumped the Groaners listening along live at the moment. Very, very few guesses coming in. In fact, none coming in for further clue 5 and clue 4. Okay, if you haven't guessed right by now, you've got no points currently. Clue 3 for 3 points. There are many different brands of me, plus I make a good sandwich. Clue 3 for 3 points. There are many different brands of me, plus I make a good sandwich. So therefore, it isn't M&M's. Unless you really want to make an M&M sandwich, which in that case, it's your right, but ugh. Yep, I have really, really stumped the audience playing along live now. Moving on. Clue 2 for 2 points. You can have me with ketchup or mayonnaise in a sandwich, perhaps even salad cream. Clue 2 for 2 points again. You can have me with ketchup or mayonnaise in a sandwich, perhaps even salad cream. Come on, Groaners Live and Groaners at Home, you've got to have got it by now. Come on. Throw mystery a bone here, somebody guess. Guess right, please. Someone's put in salad. I see where you're going with that, Groaner. I see where you're going with it. You're not right, but it's a good guess. They're playing catchphrase, this. That's a game in the UK where you've got to guess what's on the screen, only this time you're guessing by voice. Nope, still no guesses coming in. Okay, clue 1 for 1 point. I am usually coated in breadcrumbs. Clue 1 for 1 point. I am usually coated in breadcrumbs. Come on, Groaners Live. You have to have a clue by now. Those at home, if you guessed it right by now, congratulations, you may or may not have points if you guessed wrong. Okay. The answer will come later on in the show. However, I must now hog the groany platform to have my piece in the form of my groans. And again, they're not birthday related. People who don't listen to you. So you're telling someone what you want, even if you say please, and instead of giving you what you want, they give you something you don't want. Ketchup and mayonnaise are not the same thing, nor are they spelt the same. How anyone can confuse the two is beyond me. Not only is there no I in ketchup, ketchup is also red, not white, or made of egg. That ruined my evening meal the other day. Thank you, well-known savoury pastry chain, very, very much. Denote my sarcasm. Aches and pains. As I proceed to age, disgracefully I may add, I notice my body changing in ways I'd rather it didn't. My back pain from my younger years is now getting worse, and also I find myself making more noises when I bend over to pick things up. It's also equally horrible getting older, as when you're a guy getting older, your GP, aka your private doctor, they lose interest in your front nether regions, and suddenly they take a massive interest in your poop chute. Growing old, not recommended, but unavoidable in most cases. False prices in shops. Locally, I often shop in Morrison's to get my groceries, etc. There is a card called the More card, which allows you, in theory, to get cheaper prices on some products. However, one product on scanning kept showing the non-More card price. Wouldn't accept it even when the shop tried. What'd they do a few weeks later? Took off the discount on shelf. Why not just knock them down to the discount price for everyone? Of course, that would be too difficult now, wouldn't it? Okay then, before I get grumpier and older, swiftly, I'm going to move the show along to ask, what the? Our attention turns to the National Gallery in London, which has made headlines in May 2023. Yep, we're going 2 years backwards, Groaners. Why? Let me elaborate. There is a painting by Ferdinand Boll called Portrait of Frederick Sluiskin in 1652. In this painting, it looks as though he's wearing Nike trainers, as they have the definitive swoosh logo Nike is famous for. We're not going to get into the argument if it's pronounced Nike or Nike in this episode, perhaps not ever. However you pronounce it, it's the same footwear. Some say the boy's a time traveller. Bear in mind this painting was painted around some 400 years before Nike even became a thing. The painting does make me look at it and think, what the? Now then, I sense another birthday fact incoming from admin Nicole. This one is about Idaho Human Rights Day, which is a state holiday recognised only in the US state of Idaho. Governor Cecil Andrus signed compromised legislation on 10th of April 1990, making Idaho the nation's 47th state to honour slain civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. with an official state holiday. The holiday, defined by the legislation as Martin Luther King Jr. Idaho Human Rights Day, is celebrated in January on the third Monday, the same day as the federal Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday, which was first celebrated in 1986. Whew, that was a mouthful, Groaner, sorry about that. Final fact coming in later. Let's play another game now with Yes or BS. Groaners Live, they're ready. Hopefully not as stumped as you were previously. Groaner at home, you're listening, so you must be ready. Round 1. Mr. E, I presume? A. I am not from the northeast originally. B. Admin Nicole and myself have been friends for over 10 years. Or C. I was meant to be born in February. Go Groaners Live, answers please. Those at home, you know what to do. We have B's coming in. C's coming in. B, C's. A there, B, C's. More C's. Okay. Moving on. Oh, all done for that one, here we are. Round 2. More Mr. E. A. I am allergic to wheat. B. I am allergic to birthday cake. Or C. I am not allergic to dairy. Go Groaners Live. Answers please. Those at home, you know what to do. C's are flying in there. Any more Groaners? More C's? More C's, more. And an A, a B, more C's. Couple more A's. Any more? More B's are flown in there. Alright. Last round, round 3, on my birthday. A. In 1983, Culture Club topped the charts with Karma Chameleon. B. Michael Jackson had his best year in the music industry in 1983. Or C. The film Krull was a box office smash hit in 1983. Go Groaners Live. Answers please. Those at home, you know the drill by now. B's and C's flying in there. We've got a split at the moment. Any more Groaners? More B's, more C's. Alright, more B's, more C's. Definitely a split there. The point situation will be arriving later, but now we must give the floor to one of you. Yep, it's audience groan time. Peter F emailed in this week with his groan. And he groans, when you ring for a doctor's appointment and they say ring back tomorrow, you phone back and are told to try again later. It's honestly like a crap lottery. Do I need to be rich to see my GP or something? Peter, I feel your pain. It's especially bad when you tell me a problem, then they then state, and how would you like me to help you? Perhaps help me medically with my issue we just went through? Thanks for the groan, Peter. And if you want to take part in the show like Peter did, you can do so in a myriad of ways. Send in your groans, your what does, your why or whys, your zero or hero of the week nominations, your lucky or unlucky stories. Or simply give us feedback or some ideas you have for the show. But I bet you're wondering, how do I do that, Mr. E? I'm glad you asked. You can send an email in to us on the groanzonepod@gmail.com. You can search for us on Facebook groups under the Groan Zone Podcast Facebook group. You can find us on Discord, where we often record at 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time every Friday, unless otherwise stated. Or you can find myself, that's Mr. E. Groaner, on Facebook Messenger. Or you can find Nicole, sorry, I should say Admin Nicole, I nearly forgot your title there. You can find Admin Nicole under Nicole Amos. And of course, lastly, you can go on any episode from 1 to this present episode, leave a comment, we'll review it, pick it up, and it might appear in the show. Ah, Groaners. You thought I'd forgotten the story, eh? Course not. Let's visit Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. Your story for this week is called Like Looking in a Mirror. As all the spirits calmed down and the temperature returned to normal, all eyes were on the old man as he slowly walked towards them. He was exactly how they remembered, and yet nothing like they remembered at the same time. His body long gone, not even the chance to bury him, all they had was the darkness torching that factory so that not even a speck of dust remained. Yet there he was, right in front of them. His soul, anyway. Valencia began to break down. She couldn't stop apologising to him for what she did. She knew it was the best thing she could do for him, and yet deep in her mind, she knew she killed him. If she never returned his soul to him, he would have recovered. She killed him, and that guilt never left her. The old man wasn't mad, though, or even upset. He understood why she did what she did. He knew himself that there was no other way. He had to die, or he would never recover from what happened that day. He could finally be with his wife and son, moving on to a better life. That's what everyone thought happened. That's what was keeping everyone going, fighting for a better way, trying to fix the world from the devastation the Great War caused. So what went wrong? The old man died, but what happened after that? Why didn't he move on? Or was it more because he couldn't, even after dying? The old man's calm demeanour quickly changed, however, as he demanded answers. This was Graves Park. They shouldn't have entered here on their own. No one gets out of here alive after all. There's a lot to catch up on, but we were trying to revive the tooth fairies back to their intended state. This was the fastest way. Would have been a bit easier, but Val's powers don't work when we need them to, Viola said. Would have had more time and not had to cut through here if Viola was a bit more careful and didn't awaken some ancient curse that might be eating her alive, but here we are. Choices were made, and we had no choice, Valencia replied. The old man laughed as he realised just how much he'd missed them. They truly had gotten closer than ever. He never thought he would see the day when he would see them arguing with each other, but he loved seeing how close they were. The old man removed the chains from Viola's legs and helped her up. His calm demeanour would change once more to something more darker than even the girls were used to. When he died, his soul was sent to where his wife and son should have been, yet something was very wrong. The land was barren. The realm was dying, and all that stood there was a single being. He demanded to know where his family was, but the being was silent. It was nothing like what he had seen before. Something was very wrong. The being wouldn't answer anything, so he began to yell. He would demand to know where his family was, but still nothing. Then out of nowhere, the being would remove its mask, revealing something the old man couldn't fathom. It was him. He was looking right at himself, yet it wasn't just a soul as he was now. It was alive, but something was vastly different. There was a scar running down his entire face. He was silent, unable or unwilling to speak. The old man was in a panic. He didn't know what to do. He was torn. He needed to know where his family was, but he also needed to know what was going on. Who was the figure in front of him that looked just like him? What was going on? Then the figure opened its mouth to speak, and it grabbed hold of the old man's shoulders. It was just the two of them alone in this realm that should have housed countless souls ready to move on to their next lives. Your time isn't up. Find them. Find them all. Don't run out of time. Don't be too late, no matter the cost. You must save them all. Do not fix what is broken. You must destroy it completely. Change the wrongs. Fix all of time itself before it's too late, he yelled. The figure that looked at the old man then shoved him towards the ground, pushing him through a portal. The last thing he saw in this realm was a small white rat behind the strange version of him running away. When he woke up, he was in the very centre of Graves Park. He learned about the truth behind the park from the souls that were there, and in no time at all, he ended up in charge of all of them. Then he began working with these souls to formulate a plan. Valencia asked him what needs to be done. The old man looked at her, trying to force a smile. There is a rat in Death's Corner. We need to find it before it finds us. Nicole, it's so good having the old man back in whatever form he's in this story. I was gutted when he died. I'm sure I almost cried. Nicole, your writing prowess grows and grows and is amazing. Keep it up. More creepy next week. Speaking of Nicole, she's found facts that occurred on my day of birth. It's birthday facts number 3. Bjorn Borg retires from tennis after winning 5 consecutive Wimbledon championships. He retired from tennis on January 22nd, 1983. Challenger's main engines fired for the second time. The main engines of the Space Shuttle Challenger fired for 22 seconds on January 22nd, 1983. Spooky that. 22 times on 22nd of January. Strange. And Houston, that's the basketball team, became the first NBA team to be held scoreless in overtime. The Portland Trail Blazers beat the Houston Rockets 113-96 in overtime, holding the Rockets scoreless. Interesting month January is. I started almost skint, then I age. Isn't life a bowl of cherries? Cheers for the facts, Nicole. Something that definitely isn't fair is our zero of the week now. This occurred in Wales. A council told parents if their kids aren't potty trained, then the parent must come in and change them. In the Blaenau Gwent region. My apologies if I butchered that Welsh name there. Right, what if the father's a brain surgeon and the mother's a flight attendant? Are you going to stop them mid-flight or mid-operation? I don't think so. Granted, parents should make sure their kids are potty trained, but sometimes life gets in the way, or the kid has an accident, or other things might get in the way. Makes me wonder if those who thought this up actually have experience with kids. I don't have any experience, and even I know that's not fair. Zero dishonest for that council in Wales. Here we go again. Admin Nicole's here again with the anagram anxiety. Pavlov resistant is your anagram this week. Your clue? Something involving my birthday, that's Mr. E's birthday, and the man who saved the world. God, Nicole, at the same time, I love and hate your anagrams, and yet again, I am completely baffled. The answer to this anagram will come next week. Speaking of answers, groaners, of course, I wouldn't leave you without giving you the point situation. Let's get the answers and the points sorted. What the hell am I from last week? I would have accepted the mouth of the Tyne or Tynemouth. Well done if you got that. The 5-point countdown. If you guessed on 5 points, or 4, or 3, or 2, or 1, at any point, so if you got 5 points, and you stayed all the way through, you got 5 points. Your answer was fish fingers, is what you were looking for. Yes or BS. If you went for A or B, you got no points. If you went for C, I was meant to be born in February, you are correct. I was 2 weeks early. Round 2, more mystery. If you went for A or B, you are wrong and have no points now. If you went for C, I am not allergic to dairy, you are correct. I just hate it. And round 3, if you went for A or B, you've still got points. But if you went for C, the film Krull was a box office smash in 1983, you have no points. It was a box office bomb, aka a flop. With luck, you scored points in the games and had fun along the way. That brings us to a close, groaners, for another week. There'll be more to come next week, as admin Nicole has been fact-finding really hard for this month. Apologies, but this week's episode was a very long one, and so will next week's episode. We'll see you next week. Take care, groaners. Wish me happy birthday via any of the contact ways if you like. Bye-bye.
Party pooper. No cake for you.